Hello YouTube, this is Billy. Today I'm coming to you with a 2011 Kia Sorento, and today I'll be putting on new rear stabilizer links. I just got the lug nuts a little bit loose while it's still on the ground. Okay, got me some wheel chocks on the other wheels to help prevent it from rolling forward or backward while it's up on the jacks there and jack stand. Got the lug nuts fully removed, got the tires set aside. So the task is this little guy right here, coming straight like this one right here. So this nut right here, I'll be getting this nut removed, and on the bottom side, that nut right there. This nut right there. So if you got some lubricant, you probably want to take some spray lubricant and spray those a little bit to help them come off a little easier. Myself, the tools that I'm using today are 3/4 inch wrench and 11/16 wrench. Okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and start getting these nuts off there. Okay, so I've got an 11/16 wrench. See this rubber part that's right here that I'm touching? And this bar right here, okay? See where that 11/16 is just shoved in between this rubber part and that bar? You gotta shove it in there like that. Shove it in there pretty hard. And then with another wrench, come over here and start working the nut loose. Most of the time these the center part, the threads, most of the time this center part will turn at the same time that you're turning the nut. So you want to force a wrench in back here to hold this back up to keep that center part from spinning while you're turning off the nut there. I'm gonna go ahead and get that off, top and bottom. Okay, I just got these two 11/16 nuts removed there. So now you can see it. The nut is removed from the top one and the nut is removed from the bottom one. So now what I'm gonna do is take a floor jack and right here, see this large bolt here, kind of directly under here, I'm going to raise that just a hair. I'm gonna raise it just a little tiny bit with the floor jack, and by doing so, it's gonna relieve some of the tension off of this stabilizer link, makes it easier to wiggle out of there. Okay, I just raised that up just a little bit. I probably raised it maybe that much. I didn't raise it a whole lot, I just raised it a little bit just to help relieve some of that tension off of this. So now I'll just get this wiggled out. Okay, this is the one that came out of the car. As I removed it, I paid attention to which one was the top and which one was the bottom. The only reason I'm paying attention to the top and bottom is because right now I'm just making sure this new one looks just like the old one. But you see, when I start going in with this new one, if I can see, right now, the old one's going to be a lot looser and easier to move these threaded nipples around. You can move them around a lot easier because it's old, it's wore out. These new ones are going to be a lot stiffer. Well, to help me get this little guy into where it goes, when I pulled it out, I made sure that I remembered this one was the top, this one was the bottom. The only reason is because you see how this one's kind of going up like that, and see how this bottom one's kind of going up like that. The closer I can get, see, I can move it takes a lot of pressure because these new ones are stiff, but that's a good thing. Your new ones are supposed to be a lot stiffer than the old ones. In any event, with a lot of pressure with my hands, I can force this up like that one, and this one up like that one. So the closer I get that to look like this, it's going to be easier to get it to go in. So that's what I'm going to do now, is try to push on these so that they kind of look like that. The new one's definitely a lot stiffer than the old one, but I was able to, with a nut on there like it is like this, protecting those threads, I was able to just barely tap on it on the ground to help get it to barely start to move, and then with my hand the rest of the way on both sides. In any event, you don't want to hit it on the ground if you don't have the threads protected by the nut. The nut is protected the threads whenever I tapped it on the ground, because the new one is very stiff. In any event, I think I got it pretty close to the one that came out, and the closer I get it to looking exactly like that, like the one that came out, the easier it is to get this one to go in. So this would be my top and this would be my bottom. So I'm gonna go ahead and start getting that to go in. Okay, it did take some muscling it around, but when you're trying to get this new one in, just remember how they do swivel. It just takes a little pressure to help make them move, and you can get them to line up the correct way to get it to go in. And so now I'm gonna go ahead and get these nuts going and get those nuts into place. Okay, taking off the old one, I used 11/16 wrenches, and for some reason the new one is 3/4 inch. So now I'm gonna get my 3/4 inch wrench and tighten these nuts that I've barely got on there, get them tightened up. Okay, using my 3/4 inch wrench, I got the top one tightened up good, got the bottom one tightened up good. So now it's just getting the tire back into place. Of course I will be, now that that's all, that stabilizer link is done. So now I can get this jack out of the way and get the tire put back up there and get the lug nuts put on with my fingers. Okay, got that floor jack that was helping support on making it easier to get that link out of there, and it's still up on the bottle jack and the jack stand, and my other wheels are still chocked, but I got the tire placed up there and the lug nuts. I turned them with my fingers, tire tool in there, and get those snugged up. After I've got them snugged up, I will go over them again to make sure they're snugged up, and then I will lower the car back down to the ground. And once the car is on the ground, then I will tighten these down the rest of the way. Okay, now that I've got the vehicle back down to the ground, now I'll take my lug wrench and get those tightened up the rest of the way. I like to go in a star pattern. It's like boom, 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 boom. By tightening it up in a star pattern, it helps bring it in nice and flush. Well, definitely not a hard procedure, and for anybody this video may help, everybody have a good, safe day, and good luck. Bye.